Hello everyone and welcome back to Destiny. One of the main reasons you and I probably keep playing Destiny as long as we have is to chase all of those big, beautiful, exotic weapons. And luckily, there seems to be no shortage of brand new exotic weapons coming in Rise of Iron. Now, I wholeheartedly believe that we don't know of all of the exotics coming in Rise of Iron, but in this video, let's take a look at 6 exotics that we know are confirmed for Rise of Iron. First off is of course the fantasy weapon that we've all been waiting for, which is the exotic version of the Khvostov named Khvostov 7G0X. This of course is the first weapon you pick up in Destiny, and it comes back full circle as an exotic in Rise of Iron. The Khvostov, with no surprise, will of course be the most unique exotic in the game, foregoing the usual exotic perk for added versatility in combat. You can change the weapon's firing mode and the weapon's RPM. This of course allows the Khvostov to be not only the most tactically versatile weapon in the game, but also the most sought after by hardcore players simply for experimentation. And the nice thing is that you don't have to be a hardcore player to get your hands on it, as we now know that the Khvostov 7G0X will be attainable by completing an exotic quest. Next up we have the return of Thorn. In Year 1, the Thorn proved to be exactly that in many players' sides, no thanks to its superb target acquisition and its damage over time effect. At least the good news is that we know that the weapon is not going to be as deadly as it was in Year 1, thanks to the slight nerf in its damage over time. I still personally think it should only proc with a precision hit, rewarding a skilled player. And just like the Khvostov, you don't have to keep your Year 1 version in order to get the Year 3. The Thorn is also going to be available through an exotic quest. Whatever this exotic quest ends up being, I really hope that it still ends with killing Zyre the Unwed during the summoning pits. This was the last step in the quest to obtain this weapon in Year 1, and it would be a really awesome nod to the past if they ended it the same way. Next up we have Trespasser, the second exotic sidearm in the game. I've been warming up to sidearms quite a bit ever since I started chasing the sidearm grimoire. However, Trespasser seems to have a very unique perk which allows it to shoot in bursts, not unlike Dreg's Promise. Now my only concern is that it's not going to be as impressive as we think, just like Dreg's Promise wasn't, but there's been some pretty compelling Crucible footage that might show otherwise. I've personally learned that a sidearm can be very formidable if used the right way, so it could just be a matter of skill. Next up is everyone's favorite weapon from Year 1, the Gala Horn. It wouldn't be Rise of Iron without a weapon covered in wolves, so I'm personally very happy that this weapon is making a comeback. Now of course you hear a lot of people around the internet saying that this weapon has been nerfed and is no longer any good, but that's simply not the case. The only change that was made to this weapon was a slight reduction in the Wolfpack round damage. It still has the same base damage and blast radius, and it still has those Wolfpack rounds which continue to make this weapon as incredible as it is. The next weapon is the Iron Gala Horn. No, the silver and black are not because of an ornament applied to the base weapon, and it's been confirmed many times over that the Iron Gala Horn is in fact a completely separate weapon. The Iron Gala Horn is of course exclusively available by pre-ordering Rise of Iron. Either way, both weapons are going to be available through another exotic quest where you forge your own Gala Horn. Next up is a weapon that we've all been looking forward to learn more about, which is the Nemesis Star. Nemesis Star is the third of the brand new exotics in Rise of Iron, and it's the first weapon of the brand new foundry Nadir. Now a lot of us, myself included, thought that this was the first in a line of guns from Nadir that might be available from the gunsmith or something similar. Well, it turns out that this is in fact an exotic weapon, which begs the question if there are going to be other Nadir weapons available in the game. Either way, I think this is going to be available through an exotic quest just like the other exotics. In fact, I have a weird feeling that this is going to be a rank 10 gunsmith exotic quest. I only say this because it belongs to a weapon foundry, and all of the other exotic quests that had to do with weapon foundries were given by the gunsmith. The Chaperone quest comes to mind. Now, regardless of how you acquire this weapon, we can see that it's one of the first examples of what the new weapon ornaments look like, and I have to say I'm pretty impressed with how different it looks. And here we can see that there is a second ornament available for this weapon called Silver Bullet. Now, aside from the ornaments, we're given some hints at its exotic perks through this screenshot. Now, unfortunately, the intrinsic perk is simply the Nadir logo, but based on some released footage, it looks like it's the reverse of Thunderlord. I essentially think it'll be the reverse of spinning up, maybe called spinning down, where the rate of fire will actually slow down the longer it's fired and maybe deliver a higher impact. While questionable for the Crucible, it looks like it's going to be great at lining up precision hits at majors and ultras. And my guess for the second exotic perk is that it's going to deliver increased effective range as it winds down. As a bonus to Year 3, it looks like a lot of the Year 2 exotic weapons are going to receive ornaments as well. Here we can see the Monte Carlo in a pretty sleek black and red, and we can see in this clip that it's also going to be available in gold. Next we have the Hawkmoon, which shows a pretty intense bloodstain at the front of the barrel, and also an ornament for black and gold, which I personally prefer. But anyways, what do you think of the current exotic weapon lineup, and do you think we should be getting even more? As always, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and subscribe for more Destiny content. And I will see you all next time. Our first order of business is with the Earth submenu. This is how it appears now. In Rise of Iron, it'll look like this.